Hello everybody, this is Nico Novum Del Valle, and I'd like to welcome you back to the North American Weekend Championship, where we'll now be seeing Pet My Meme versus Adequate Team Name in the second round of the losers bracket.
And this is Christian Bear Epinero, and we just saw Pet My Meme take a game off of UES in the losers bracket. They end up facing Adequate Team Name, who they won a game yesterday, lost their second one, so they're dropped down, and we're already seeing bans coming out. An Azir ban, which we finally get to see it played last game. Not the most impressive setup, but another Azir ban and another Evelyn ban, which we've seen pretty consistently banned throughout the tournament so far.
Yeah, I think Waifu needs to work a bit on his Azir. The ultimates were but anyways, we do see Evelyn banned yet again. Seems to be the priority pick of today. Gonna get banned every game by one side or the other. Rumble gets banned again as well.
Yeah, another Rumble ban, and again, from what Tuba has shown so far, not really necessarily showing that Rumble playstyle, but you never know, he definitely could be a Rumble player. A Vayne ban coming across from Adequate Team Name, and I think Vayne is a fantastic ban, and definitely a really strong pick. We saw Vayne a couple times yesterday, and just a really strong laner now that a lot of the other ADs have been repeatedly nerfed. Vayne kind of left alone, and a very safe pick. And Hecarim coming across from PMM. We did see Tuba play Hecarim. We know that it's something he does play. He didn't have the most impressive showing on it. We saw a lot of pressure top lane when he was on that Hecarim pick, but won't have the option for that today.
And Kabloomy yet again picking up this Gragas. He has picked it up basically every game since the beginning of this tournament, and I think it might be time for other teams to look at knocking him off of it. But I guess we'll see if they win this game. We don't know if they will, and if they don't, then they're going to be eliminated until next weekend. So we'll see what happens. Tuba and Kuona going to be hovering their picks for today. Lulu is being hovered. We'll see what they pick.
Yeah, Kabloomy playing Gragas all 3 games so far, so definitely a comfort pick for him. We haven't seen the most Lulu yet, which I think Lulu's a very strong pick currently. Generally in the mid lane, just gives you so much utility. You're able to save any AD or any priority pick that you guys want to put on your team, and we see another Braum pickup as well, which we've seen mixed results from him, but I still think Braum is one of the strongest supports in the game right now. Just so much utility from him, tanky, disengage, and engage, just awesome support.
Yes, and Braum is still just a high priority pick on this patch, but I want to talk a little bit about this Lulu and how effective it is in a composition where you want to protect a certain carry. Basically, when you have a Lulu on your team, it's like having a second support. Whether they build AP or maybe some more utility-focused items, the Lulu is always going to have great shields, great sustain through the ultimate. They're able to keep their carries alive, and if you can get that one carry fed and then put Lulu and Braum between them, that carry is going to be able to be so much more successful than without them.
Yeah, and not only the ultimate coming out from Lulu, but both the shield and help picks and Whimsy giving those AD carries such a humongous movement speed buff. When you have like a high damage AD carry that is Lulu buffed, they're moving around so fast, they're elo to get in and out and get a lot of attacks off. It's so potent. We'll see what they combo with the Lulu, but a lot of teams in high elo, we've seen so much Lucian Lulu. Or I've seen a lot of Lucian Lulu lately, where Lucian is able to dash in, get a couple autos off of his passive, get back out, and we actually will see Callista picked up on the side, and that's another fantastic pick with the Lulu.
Yeah, and meanwhile on PMN's side, we do see the Thresh locked in, and also the Vel'Koz. We did see Vel'Koz recently in the LCS when Gate picked it up. Yeah, but what do you think about Vel'Koz? It just seems kind of immobile as a mid laner for me.
You know, very immobile, but I am a fan of the Vel'Koz mid. You have a lot of damage, you have percent health base damage, you have a little bit of CC in your knockup, and your ultimate gives you a little bit of objective control. I don't know how many times I've seen a Vel'Koz in the back of a pit just ult down Dragon or ult down Baron and actually pick up a steal. You do get a little bit of extra utility there, but I'm actually a big fan of the Vel'Koz pick, and I'm excited to see it here.
Yeah, and meanwhile, on ATN's side, we did see that Olaf get locked in. we have seen a TSM kind of run this type of composition where they'll take that Lulu, put it in the middle lane on Bjergsen while they run the Braum bot, and with Olaf in the top lane, this is specifically the point of the comp because you can speed him up so much that he can get deep into enemy lines, and because of his ultimate, he can't be crowd controlled.
Yeah, Olaf just being a monster in the top lane. A lot of Olafs opting to max the actual undertow now. So much damage coming out of those axes and repeated slows. You can't CC him once he hits 6. I'm a big fan of the Olaf pick top lane. I love seeing him picked. And just a couple days ago, we saw him in OGN where he absolutely destroyed Gangplanks at the top lane. He's a very strong pick currently.
Ooh. Okay, so this is interesting. It looks like Malphite is actually going to be the one in the top lane, while Olaf is going to be in the jungle. So that's an interesting too. I think Olaf is actually a pretty good jungler, just because once you get that Q up to like rank 2, it's pretty decent clear. And because of the innate like lifesteal coming off of his W, he doesn't die to camps that fast. So he's pretty good at clearing, pretty good at sustaining through the jungle. They're tricking me now, guys!
Yeah, we'll see what they end up locking in, but I actually probably assume this is going to be an Olaf jungle. You have a fantastic clear, you have a lot of sustain. It's strong. We haven't seen too many, jungle Olafs lately. Reignover really the big one that pulls it out, but we'll definitely be seeing an Olaf jungle here. We'll see how the Malphite stacks up top lane, because we're actually going to be seeing a Rengar top on the other side. I'm a fan of having Malphite against the Rengar over Olaf. But it's been a while since I've seen a Rengar top. We'll see how Color Wheel actually plays that out.
Yes, we will. We are going to get into the delay period here, so I can reveal the summoner spells. But I want to talk a little bit about this Sivir pick, since PMM has decided to pick it up. It's pretty good with the Rengar, but more importantly with the Vel'Koz, because once Midnight trips that ultimate, it's going to give him that little boost of movement speed that'll really help Vel'Koz's lack of mobility, just because he'll be able to run away better.
Yeah, and it's just a Sivir
Get into a better position. Just group and win! Dunzo!
Seen the most of Sivir lately since the nerfs to her ultimate. A little bit of a smaller window in getting that off for your team, but still very, very strong when you're able to get that. I think it's a good pick, especially when you're playing kind of these chaotic team fight teams. You have a Gragas to disengage, Vel'Koz who really wants to get a good ultimate off. You can hit both the backline and the front line at the same time. Rengar who wants to get in and out, just blow up at either Kalista or Lulu, whoever he's going to target. The Sivir ult's really going to help the team kind of move around and get these kind of good team fights going, and we'll see how well that works for him. We haven't seen the most Sivir lately though, but still a solid pickup.
Yeah, we have definitely seen the Kalista lately, however. Although now being on 5.17, after those nerfs to the percent health damage on her W, what do you think? Is she still going to be that incredibly lane dominant force, or is that W being hurt? Is it going to hurt her too?
It hurts her lane, but I still think Kalista is such a strong pick. You have so much mobility. Kalista gives you lane control. She gives you objective control on the Baron and the Dragon. Fantastic synergy with really any support that you throw down there. Once you hit 6 and you have Fate's Call, you're able to throw that Braum wherever you want, or even save him from a gank that's coming through. Kalista gives you so much pressure in lane, pressure on objectives, pressure everywhere. I think Kalista's still one of the top tier picks currently.
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely good against this Rengar, who's just going to be diving her into the backline. But with that mobility, she's going to be able to escape. Not only with that mobility, but also with the movement speed boost coming out from Lulu, if she hasn't already used it on Olaf. So it's going to be a big deal for Gelati to not use that movement speed boost on the wrong target, but use it on the right target at the right time to give them the mobility they need to either kite back or go in.
Yeah, and I think these fights are really going to be dependent on how Pet My Meme initiates. You have this Rengar, you have this Gragas that are really going to try to solo out specific targets. How well is ATN going to be able to get this kind of semi-wombo combo set up off? Are they going to be able to get a really good Malphite ult onto multiple people, where they can follow up with a Braum ultimate? Lulu can ult to knock them up even further, while you have an Olaf that's just roaming free, hitting on anyone he wants, and a Kalista dancing around the team fight. Or is PMM going to be able to get those priority picks off? We'll really see how well each team plays out their mid game, and You know, we kind of saw a similar setup last game where PMM again kind of had this pick comp. They were against a little bit of a big team fight comp, and they got a really big lead and were able to get those picks that they needed. We'll see if they can convert the same kind of setup this game.
And we are going to be getting into the loading screen where we are going to go over the starting lineups. We're going to have Color Wheel in the top lane for Pet My Meme, Kabloomy in the jungle, Hentel in mid lane, Midnight Drop at AD carry, and Russian Guy at support. And on the red side, we do have adequate team name with Tuba in the top lane, Kuona in the jungle, Gelati at mid, Aiden at AD carry, and Flareons on support. We're going to be getting into the game now. Kalista picking up that Black Spear, probably going to throw it onto Braum, but we'll see what happens coming into the game. The gates are going to drop at 15 seconds, and we're going to get onto the Rift.
And I'm really curious to see how some of these champs end up building what item pass they choose to go. Haven't seen Rengar top in a while. We'll see if he decides to go just straight damage to potentially blow up a Lulu or a Kalista. And also we'll see how the Olaf jungle decides to build too. I know a lot of the newer items are just look fantastic on Olaf. Deadman's Plate in particular gives you that movement speed, that empowered auto. We'll see what he decides to go in the jungle and what he decides to build as he goes. And we're going to see a little bit of a fight here.
The entirety of Red Team gets flayed. Kuona is going to go down to first blood for Russian Guy. Russian Guy is going to get returned by Aiden. Kabloomy looking for more, gets stunned by the Braum passive. Double kill for Aiden. He wants more, but he has to flash away from Color Wheel. Color Wheel is getting low. The Vel'Koz is throwing out the skill shots. Looks like 2 kills are going to go in the favor of ATN after a chaotic level 1 fight. Who do you think got the best of that one?
I'm actually so surprised that didn't go fantastically for Pet My Meme. You know, Thresh got a 5-man flay. He flayed every single member of the opposing team, and they're able to get so much damage off right off the bat, but 18 was able to turn that a little bit. Braum being able to proc his passive on multiple targets. They're able to pick up 2 kills to the 1, even though Pet My Meme got first blood. I'm still putting it in ATN's favor.
Yeah, mostly because of the gold distribution there. Russian Guy was the one who picked up first blood, but then Aiden, who is the AD carry, picks up a double kill, walks to lane with not only a longsword, but 2 extra potions. Midnight Drop has basically no chance of winning the potion war now, and that's such an important part of that role.
And that is definitely what you do not want to see. Your opposing laner come to lane with an item advantage, 2 kills, a couple extra pots. That is just going to be a nightmare down there for him. And looking across, you know, Flash is burned for the most part. We'll see if either of the junglers can take advantage of some of the missing summoner spells.
Yes, we will. Color Wheel farming a little bit in the top lane. Tuba is has decided to instead go around with this jungler, picking up the dual jungle. We're gonna get level 2 through that instead, or not. Looks like he's just gonna head back up to lane. Aiden and the bot lane get that early level 2. Rend gets dropped on the Midnight Drop for a good deal of damage. Tuba gets to level 2 without any big trouble going down as Color Wheel pushes it too close to the turret to fight him. Looks like Tuba is gonna land some harass on the Color Wheel, but that should get healed up pretty soon. He has that Doran's Blade. We'll see what happens.
Color Wheel already pushing very hard up here and actually takes a turret shot. We'll see if this pays off.
That was not
Olaf
good.
Actually roaming down bottom, so won't be coming up top to help Tuba anytime soon.
Color Wheel ends up missing that ferocity, that 5 ferocity Ebola, so it's going to be a little bit bad for him. He is going to recall, going to be careful of Tuba. We did see him mostly playing carry top laners yesterday with that Aurelia and with the and with the Hecarim. So it's interesting to see him on a more tanky-oriented champion. We'll see how ATN plays around it.
Yeah, unless for whatever reason he decides to go with a full AP build Malphite, I assume we're going to see a tank Malphite come out of him. But yeah, a little bit of a different setup than his standard tank build, so...
Yep, not much going on here. Aiden and Flareons sitting in the bot lane, stacking up that farm advantage from that great early level 1. Gonna crash the wave into the tower, try and make Midnight Drops miss a few. Throws out the Pierce.
And we see Gragas actually coming up top here, looking to get a little bit of a gank down on Tuba.
Color Wheel has assistance here. Tuba has spotted him on, because of the minions. Color Wheel jumps out of the bush. Kuona has a riot tower over. Color Wheel is really low. Here comes the body slam. Tuba is going low. Color Wheel jumps over the wall to avoid dying. Throws out the Bola. Nobody dies miraculously after that fight, but Color Wheel down a flash. That's going to be impactful.
Very fortunate. Color Wheel was one of the few people that didn't have to burn Flash in that early fight. Great counter gank coming out of the side of Olaf, though. Definitely a good time to swing up top, save his laner, and almost pick up a kill on their side as well.
Yeah, and we do see that Color Wheel has decided to take this early Ignite, so not being able to get this early advantage in lane is going to be really devastating for him because... what do you think, actually, of actually taking Ignite over Teleport in the top lane? It just seems like such a bad idea for me. It gives up your entire team's pressure, especially in a team-coordinated environment like this.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Teleport is just so powerful in so many different ways. It lets you push a lane and still have presence on another side of the map. If you have a little bit of a disadvantaged trade, you can always teleport back to lane very quickly. You won't miss too much, but I still think Flash Ignite has its place up in top lane. Playing these really, really aggressive laners, if you're able to pick up those early kills and snowball your lane, it can definitely be worth it. We'll see if Rengar can get any little picks here and there and pick up a bit of an advantage, but not looking like the case so far.
Definitely not. And it's just that if you take this kind of Flash Ignite setup and then run around with it, you're basically forced to group with your team every single time the other top laner is gone, because if they're gone, they can teleport in, they can force that 4v5, and that's not something you want to happen. But also, because you need to be with your team so often, you can't split push, and the other top laner can, because he knows that his team is never going to be forced into a 4v5 situation, because he has that ability to join his team when they need it.
Yeah, and if anything, again, PMM seems to pick these teams that aren't necessarily team fight focused. They like to pick these team comps, get advantages in different lanes, and just push that in certain parts of the map. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that in this top lane where Malphite's just going to build straight armor. He already has a little bit of a lead. He's level 6 to Rengar's level 4. It's going to take a little bit for Rengar to get an advantage and pick up any kills here.
So yeah, Flareon trying to land some of those cues right onto Russian guy, but Russian guy is Russian, and in Soviet Russia they have plenty of snow, so I don't think that ice is going to affect him much.
Hopefully not, and you know, he's playing Thresh, who is kind of undead anyway, so does cold even really affect him?
No, it wouldn't. He's dead already. He doesn't have feelings.
Yeah, we see, again, just kind of standard lane so far. We see a little bit of a roaming coming through mid lane. Tuba level 6. He's going to see if he can get a good ultimate off here on Vel'Koz.
It seems kind of strange that a guy named Flareon would be playing an Ice Theme champion anyway. Shouldn't he be playing Annie? You want the flares, you want the fire.
He could play Frostfire, Andy. Then he'll get that winter and...
There you go, and then you get both. But Tuba is coming into the middle lane, uses his ultimate onto Hentel. Hentel is going to go down to Gelati in the beginning of this game. That's another kill on to ATN's side, facilitating a little bit larger of this gold leader theirs. They're winning every lane, winning in the jungle as well, up by 5 CS and 2 assists. This game is going pretty well for ATN so far.
Definitely a good pickup. You know, Hentel did have the chance to flash out of that. You can react, and he did see him a little bit before he decided to ult.
Death Sentence lands onto Iden, but Flareon gets immediately ulted by Iden to prevent any shenanigans on the engage.
That is the strength of that Kalista down bot. If something happens to your support, you can always save them. There's so much lane presence and safety down here. It's really going to be hard for PMM to get any kind of advantage.
Yes, it will. It looks like the bottom lane of ATN is going to recall. Kabloomy heading down towards the dragon area. With these recalls, it would actually be an extremely easy dragon pickup, so it looks like they are going to do that. This is actually a really good decision coming from PMM. They're capitalizing on the recall timings in order to take this dragon. That's a pretty high-level strategy, and it's good of them to do this. No, Kelowna is on the way, and he might make it in time to contest. I guess we'll see. Gelati is going to be the first one to arrive. Hentel spots him, but here comes Color Wheel with the ultimate. Looks like he wants to jump in. He's looking for that engage. The blue buff gets knocked down to 1 health, but it does get secured by Hentel. Oh, Color Wheel getting into a little bit of a dangerous situation there after his ult ran out. But overall, PMM won the trade. They got the blue buff, they got the dragon, this is a really good way to start coming back into this game.
Yeah, big pickup for TMM. They know that bot lane just recalled. They have Rengar roam down bot from top tower after pushing and stealing the red buff. They're able to force the Dragon down pretty quickly, and fortunately, it could have been so much worse for ATN. You saw Rengar ult, he was looking for a little bit of a pick. They just couldn't get that hook down on Lulu. Nothing they'd be able to get by the blue buff. However, they are able to steal the blue buff itself. So, pretty good pickup for for PMM.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't even out the gold lead, because the Dragon doesn't give any gold, but it's a nice start. They just need to start evening out these CS leads. And Iden applying a lot of damage to this bot tower might actually go down. Nope, looks like it's going to be safe for now, but with it being that low, it's going to be really easy for them to take down. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we have Tuba with a 2-level advantage on the color wheel. I think he's really regretting that ignite by now.
Yeah, we're really seeing this struggle top lane where you pick a really aggressive laner, you just don't get that early advantage and you start falling behind a little bit. Malphite's rushing this Frozen Heart, he's going to continue to stack armor, and color wheels, it's just going to be harder and harder for him to kill him all throughout the game. He's 2 levels behind, he's taking so much damage.
Kuona secures the kill onto color wheel. This is more tower pressure for coming in for ATN. Nobody here to defend this. No teleport for color wheel to come back when he comes up. It's going to be an easy turret for them.
Yeah, and honestly, he didn't even really need the Olaf to come up top. He had so much damage just on his own.
The Flash Lantern coming in from Russian guy. Kabloomy takes advantage, knocks Flareons right back into his team, but here comes Tuba with the teleport. Iden grabs Flareons with the face call, tries to throw him back to the team, but nobody gets knocked up. Tuba is going to go low. Tuba is going to get killed by Midnight Drop. Midnight Drop looking for more as a 4th member of Hensel joins the rest of his team in the bottom lane. They looks like they want to pressure this bottom lane tower. Only 2 defenders, one of them is a support. So, yep, they're all going to run away. They want to watch out for that dive. Descent comes out from Russian, didn't account for the movement speed, or the jump, and that's going to get out. And this is some nice return tower pressure coming out from PMM. Looks like they're going to return that tower take immediately, nullify that slightly building gold lead that ATN had gotten from that.
Yeah, ATN gets a good kill pickup up top. They're able to convert that into a tower, and what PMM decides to do is they just send 4 down bot. Gragas comes, gets a very good gank off. You're against the Kalista Braum. They're able to get out. They get a good Fate's Call, but the thing is, Tuba decided to teleport bot. He was already around half health from taking those tower shots up top. He doesn't have ultimate. That forces Braum to actually send himself back into the fight to try to salvage something out of it. No way to save him though. Tuba goes down, and they end up trading another tower for the tower itself, so they kind of diminish that loss that they had earlier.
Rushing guy taking a little bit more than he can bargain for here. Hentel is here to help, but Tuba uses his unstoppable force to go in. He secures the Lulu secures the kill on the rushing guy, but here comes Kabloomy. Looks like the setup might not have been in their favor, and Color Wheel secures the kill onto Tuba, looking for Gelati, but Gelati has a turret to fall back to. Ooh, but he does land the Bola, lands another Bola, but it's not going to be enough. He throws down the Ignite. Is the shield going to be enough? No, it isn't. Color Wheel secures yet another kill. Looks like the Ignite has finally proven worth it for him. Still at a disadvantage in his lane, but it's good to see that he can roam and get the kills he needs.
Yeah, and the 2 kills will really help him out. He ends up getting a really nice empowered Embola. Nice skill shot, locks on that Lulu. The Lulu shield comes up at the perfect time. Didn't have quite enough damage, so he had to drop the Ignite to finish off the kill, but does get that. He ends up picking up, I believe that was the 2nd kill of that fight, so definitely the boost that Color Wheel needed up here is Rengar, and we'll see if that can snowball him a little bit here and get some more advantage up top. They're trying to force the counter.
Here comes Kelowna. Ragnarok goes down. They're coming in on Color Wheel. He throws the axe. He's looking to finalize the kill on Color Wheel. He gets it. Kelowna is looking to do some damage to Kabloomy. Kabloomy is pretty tanky, but he has no turret to fall back to. He instead is going to turn around and try to fight Kelowna, but here comes Tuba. Axe gets thrown. The slow is landed. Kabloomy is getting pretty low. No turret to fall back to. Kelowna is going to respect whatever reinforcements Kabloomy might be getting. Tuba isn't. He's going to keep going on the chase. Shield gets burned. He is getting attacked by the Gromp, but here comes Midnight Drop. Here comes Hensel. Here comes Russian. Here comes the On the Hunt. They're on the hunt for Tuba. Tuba is on the run. He's on this Malphite. He does it. He uses his ultimate to escape. Ooh, he's gonna be safe. A little bit over aggressive from him, but they don't pay too hard for it.
His ult was so far there. Honestly, I saw the ult start and I was like, he's not going to make that second ledge, but he does. He's able to escape out. Nice little pickup on the side of ATN, getting that kill on Rengar up top. Kuona was able to just strike him down. No way for Kabloomy to stop him while Olaf's Ragnarok is up. So good pickup kill there. They're able to escape. Didn't get the follow-up kill onto the Gragas, but good thing that he didn't drop himself.
Yep. We do see Tuba head back into the top lane now. He's got health and mana potions both burning. A little bit afraid to fight Color Wheel right now. I don't think there's a ton of damage for Color Wheel right now, just because of that frozen heart that Tuba's built and complete. Meanwhile, the rest of ATN just pressuring on the dragon area. They grab the Scuttle Crab. Dragon is going to be up in 5 seconds, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely an advantage on the side of ATN here. They have the wards out around the dragon side. They're already in position. They're near the pit. Looks like it's on PMM to force the engage and push them off here.
Kabloomy might be looking for the engage. He's going to walk right into Kuona. Kuona activates the Ragnarok. They're going after Russian Guy. Glacial Fisher comes out, only knocks up Russian Guy. Here comes the ultimate from Vel'Koz. The laser is not going to be enough. Russian Guy does not go down. He is getting burned, but it's not going to be enough. Color Wheel is low. He looks like he's going to be the next one to drop from Tuba. Flare-ons engages. It looks like Russian Guy has overstayed his welcome. Never mind. He gets out alive. They're turning the kill on to Kabloomy. Tuba has gone down. Russian Guy still on the back line, really low here. Iden is so low that he can't fight. Looks like it might be another dragon coming out for the side of PMM. There's not much they can do to pressure this pit. Not with Iden so low. Not with Kuona not available for the fight right now. Gelati does not get hooked. Iden seems to have used some potions now. Looks like they want to re-engage here. It is a 4v3, but Hentel is completely out of mana. They're focusing on the Gelati. Midnight Drop picks up the kill. That is going to be it for that dragon. Kabloomy secures the dragon, and Iden has to burn his flash to escape from the fight.
Yeah, big fight for PMM. You know, it was pretty chaotic to begin with. A little bit of an advantage for PMM. Malphite was a little bit late to the fight. He was off on the side. He's coming in, and Rengar got so much damage off right away onto the Lulu and the Callista. Lulu has to burn ultimate on herself just to knock the Rengar away, and in the meantime, Malphite finally gets a really good ultimate when he shows up, hits 3 people. There's just not enough follow-up. Rengar was able to zone a couple people off, and PMM's able to pick up 2 kills during that fight, a 3rd one with Gelati going in to try to stop that dragon, and very good pickup for PMM. We're seeing them winning these, you know, crazy team fights again in this game, similar to last game, and we'll see if they can keep pushing these advantages that they get from them.
Yeah, this game is really turning into a battle of the AD carries. Both AD carries performing pretty well. Iden with the slight CS advantage, but Midnight Drop with 1 more kill. But I think that in this situation where the AD carries are the most important force on both teams, it just seems to me that ATN has the advantage in that situation. They lost that last fight, however, so they might just be getting outplayed. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Callista by far the most important part of ATN, but I don't know if we can consider Sivir the most important part of PMM. Yeah, she's 3-0 and 2, but we normally pick Sivir for that utility, for that ultimate, for that engage, and we're going to see if they can protect Hentel enough so he can get enough procs of his passive off and get a really good ultimate down, and we're going to see if Rengar can blow anyone up with those 2 kills that he was able to pick up earlier, but PMM, a little bit of a lead here. We'll see how these team fights go.
3 procs locked onto Gelati. Here comes the Q. Color Wheel is not quite with the team yet, so it doesn't look like they want to engage. All of the ultimates are available, so if a fight breaks out, it will be chaotic. Here comes... Here they come, pushing up the middle lane. Looking to pressure this middle lane tower. It is at half HP, but with so little range on PMM's side, it might be a little bit of a hard siege.
Yeah, with Malphite down bot, they might be able to get some chip damage off on this turret and eventually take it down. His teleport is up though, so if they want to...
Here comes the Death Sentence. They're engaging under the tower. Gelati goes down to the Hentel ult. Hentel ult managed to get the full duration. Color Wheel dives onto the back line. Iden is going to go down to him. It's going to be returned by Kuona, but it's already too late. Midnight Drop picks up another kill. Hentel picks up the tower. PMM pushing that advantage off that last fight beautifully with that amazingly well-coordinated turret dive.
And Tuba doesn't teleport in, he just walks right from that bot lane.
Russian Guy just doesn't stop. Kuona gets knocked up. Kabloomy comes back in with a flash body slam. Kabloomy's gonna secure that kill. Tuba, the only one left to protect the turret. I don't think they'll be able to get it though, just because they don't have the Sivir here with the attack speed steroid. They are gonna be able to get some pretty good damage off. That's about it. Aiden and Gelati are on the way back. True damage just procced onto Tuba, but they can't dive him right now, especially as reinforcements are starting to filter in. Let's see what happens.
PMM picking up 4 kills there. Again, this is showing why Hentel and Color Wheel are such a big part of their team. Gransky gets a perfect ultimate, knocking a couple people around. Hentel gets a full channeled ult, able to take a person down right under tower, and we see Color Wheel just dive the backline, blowing people up. That's exactly what they need to do in these fights, and if Tuba isn't going to teleport in, they're going to lose all of these fights 5v4.
Yep, and looks like they're starting to set up some vision around the Dragon area. Dragon isn't the objective. That is going to be coming up shortly, however. That will be the Baron. Neither team has very many wards there. Might want to start looking at it soon. 20 minutes into the game now. Kwona secures the red buff. Let's see what happens now. Russian guy throws a lantern. Looks like they want to clear some wards. Midnight Drop is going to be taking up the red buff for PMM.
And I really feel like what ATN needs to do to swing this game around, they have to group up here. You can't have Tuba split pushing and wait for PMM's side to engage, because by the time they engage, Rengar's going to blow someone up so fast it's going to be too late for Tuba to show up and save anyone. If they have Tuba there during the fight, he can get a good ultimate, they can follow up with Lulu. He needs to be there though. Split pushing is not going to be the answer here.
Yep. No, it will not. Aiden and Clara, as well as Gelati, hanging around the mid lane. Most of ATN just hanging around this middle lane, looking to wave clear the minions as they come in. They've got some decent wave clear, not the best in the game, but the same is true for the other team. Kona just picking up his Razor Beaks. Did not smite them.
I'm assuming we're going to see from PMM, again, try to go back to this mid lane, push it out, and just get these wards out in preparation for Dragon. It's going to be up in 45 seconds here. It's definitely going to be the next objective. They already have 2. They don't want to give away the first back over to ATN side, so might see another big fight here.
Yeah, maybe, especially as Kabumi is going to take away this blue buff, going to put it onto Hentel again. They had the timer because they were the last ones to secure this, so they managed to take it. 25 seconds until the Dragon, as ATN looks to pressure it back. They don't want to give up this Dragon, although I think they might want to look at something, another option besides just fighting them for it. They could push down the middle lane. They do have the minions there. There are better options than contesting Dragon against the team in the lead, I think.
And we'll see what they opt to do. PMM really, they have an advantage here. They're going to look to take down the Dragon, but if a Malphite ult, he actually brings
Here comes Tuba, they're on to Hentel. That's a 3-man knockup coming from ATN. They're focusing down on the Color Wheel. Aiden gets absolutely destroyed. Color Wheel with the double kill, looking for more. They're looking for Tuba. Tuba is going to get away, but they are going to also secure the Dragon. That fight ended so fast, I could barely account for what happened.
Just a huge misplay. Tuba and Kona both end up walking forward. Tuba burns ult so early on Hentel. There are 3 or 4 people to the left of him. Hentel's off to the side. He burns ult. There's no way for his team to follow up on it. It's nothing from it. Again, Color Wheel is able to just run around, wreak havoc, and pick up these kills. Just another huge fight and drain for PMM. Transitions into a tower, and they're moving towards Baron as well.
Yes, they are. They're heading towards that red buff, but it is not there. Looking to pressure some Baron. Here we have Russian guy dropping some wards. Decides to recall. Hentel still hanging around, tries to steal the Razor Beaks away, unsuccessfully. He is now going to recall along the rest of his team. A little bit of a delayed back compared to the rest. We do see... I'm completely out. We do see Kwona and the rest of ATN pushing up through this middle lane. They are going to secure this Tier 1 tower. That'll be the last Tier 1 tower of the game. It's not going to do much to even out this gold lead, however. 6,000 in the favor of PMM.
Yeah, the mid tower, just a little bit of a consolation prize of everything they just ended up losing, but this is really going to be tough for Adequate Team Name to come back. They need these big wombo combo team fights. They have to have Malphite hit a couple priority targets. They have to get the follow-ups from Lulu and Braum as well. It's going to be so difficult, though. Rengar is going to be off to the side in nearly every single situation. Lulu is going to be the one to try to dissuade him with that ultimate to knock him away. Really hard, though, when you're at a 6k deficit.
Yeah, we do see Color Wheel just jumping onto the back line in these fights. He eliminated Iden the last one. He's called Color Wheel, but the only color he's making his opponents see is gray.
Yeah, and if there's any color you want to show him, that's definitely the one. Rengar, I was a little hesitant on it because, you know, he fell behind early, but he's really showing why he's confident in picking Rengar top, and even with that Ignite.
He did look a little bit uncomfortable with it in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, maybe it was just a slow start. It was a little bit rough, but he's definitely...
Oh! Tuba with the 3-man unstoppable force. They're jumping in onto Hentel. He is going to go down. Midnight Drop soon to follow. Nobody has gone down from ATN. They're looking to continue this fight. They're going after Kabloomy. The axe slow lands. The Flareon's flash uses the Winter's Fight to slow Kabloomy down. Kabloomy is going to flash over the wall inside the Dragon Pit. Iden is on the chase. Lands the Pierce, but the rest of his team is going to go mid, and he is going to back off. But meanwhile, Color Wheel pushing up in the bottom lane. Lands a lot of damage onto that inhibitor tower, but he gets forced off by Tuba. So it's going to end up as not much. Roshan Guy pulling in Flareons. Flareons is taking the tower now, but he is the perfect one to take the tower. Russian Guy is going to go down to Kuona. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Color Wheel is fighting Tuba, and Color Wheel is losing. Looks like he is making MC Gray now.
And we're just talking about what Tuba has to do. You have to get an ult on priority targets. He gets both Hentel and Midnight Drop. He gets the mid and the AD carry. Rengar is down bot, pushing that tower. They get a nice 5v4 off that flash ultimate. They're able to pick up 2 kills. Tuba ends up recalling, gets another kill down onto the Rengar that's split pushing. He's also able to save the inhib turret. Meanwhile, mid, they get a nice Braum passive proc on Russian Guy. A 4th kill picked up, another tower, a huge fight for ATN. That's exactly what they needed.
Now that's how you even out a gold lead, boys.
Yeah, instantly goes from 6k down to roughly 3, so definitely a huge fight. Again, those Malphite ultimates, they're game changers. If you can get them on those right targets and pick up those kills, you're going to win team fights. More of that, ATN definitely has a chance of bringing this back.
So, speaking of Malphite, what do you generally think of this champion? It doesn't get played competitively a ton. It has started to pick up a little bit of steam right now. But why do you think Malphite has been so unpopular for so long? What makes him a pick that's not as good as the other top laners?
You know, he's never been a terrible pick. And as we're talking about Color Wheel roaming up top here.
Color Wheel coming in under Gelati. Multiple Crips come down, but Gelati immediately uses his Wild Growth. He is going to escape under the tower. In the middle lane, on the hunt goes on. Flareons is going to get obliterated by the ultimate of Hentel. Tuba tries to ult back, but there is no follow-up damage to come out this time, and Hentel picks up a double kill. PMM pushing up the middle lane, looking for the tower. We'll see what they can get.
What a great flay from Russian Guy. He ends up flaying the Braum out of his stand with me. Right as Braum's jumping away, he gets a nice flay. Hentel again with a fantastic ult. They're able to just burn down a couple more picks here, so another good fight from PMM. That's definitely not what ATN needs here.
Definitely not. This is a solid rotation coming out from PMM. They didn't have the minions in the middle lane just yet, so they rotate towards the top lane, go towards the easier to take tower in the tier 2 top. But they the Death Sense lands onto Gelati, and Russian Guy secures that kill with the hook combo of knockups, and now he gets it into Iden because Iden was totally out of position. Hentel's on a killing spree. Color Wheel is the focus from Kuona. He gets stunned by the Braum passive, but he does have enough health to get away. Another hook comes out from Russian Guy onto Tuba. Flay comes on. Flareons kills Kabloomy. Ooh, that double knockup coming up from Belcause, but it's really that Q that manages to secure that Olaf kill and get him on a rampage. Low health bars coming out from ATN. They cannot protect this tower anymore. Tuba is the last one remaining here. He has stayed, and it's looking like it's too long. Comes out the life form disintegration rate. He tries to ult on the Midnight Drop. It's not going to be enough, however. Russian Guy grabs another kill for his team, and PMM gonna recall, happy with that fight.
Yeah, fantastic hooks coming out of Russian Guy. He hits a couple in a row. I've been playing so aggressive on the Kalista. You're just down so much. You can't run around here. And you see Russian Guy escaping there just on the last tick of his recall. Can't be stopped by any form of damage. But yeah, I mean, another great fight for PMM. ATN needs to be grouped as 5 to be able to contest these pushes from PMM. They just can't be stopping these, you know, 3v5, 4v5, they have to have all 5 there to contest these and get those team fights.
Tuba's also stayed way too long. That tower was already gone. You can't protect it.
You know, he's looking for these cheeky pickup kills. The health bars are pretty low on the side of
teleport.
PMM, but...
Tuba has come in. He does have the home guards. He's looking for the right engage, but he does not have his ultimate up. Here comes the on the hunt from PMM. They're looking for Kawona. Kawona is headed towards the back line. He's headed on to Midnight Drop, but Midnight Drop is life-stealing it. Gets the shield from the Braum, and he does secure a double kill. Oh, what a death sentence from Russian guy. He engages onto Iden. That's going to be a triple kill for Midnight Drop, and it's going to be the 4th Dragon for PMM. Wow. What a death sentence right there. It was great. Max range.
Fantastic hooks coming out of Russian guy, and ATN, what are you doing? You, again, don't have Malphite ults. You can't force these fights. You literally need everything to be up to get these team fights to work. You've repeatedly lost over and over again when you're fighting down men, down an ultimate. It's just not going to work. You know, Tuba has ultimate now, but 3 men are down. PMM's pushing around Baron.
Looks like they're going to be focusing down onto the Baron now. Tuba throws a pink cord over the wall, but it'll get quickly killed off. Baron has gone down to half HP. Kawona might be looking for a steal here if he was even here. He's not. Here comes the Lifeform Disintegration Ray. Tuba tries to ult into the Vista Seal, but it's not going to be enough to contest Kablumi's Smite. Color Wheel secures the kill onto Tuba. It was a nice try, but ultimately didn't pay off. Here we see PMM rotating up towards the top lane, now with their newly found Baron buff.
Yeah, and again, Malphite burning ultimate to try to get something on his own. And, I mean, you have to try at that point. You can't just give a Baron without contesting it, but that Dragon fight, you just can't fight for that. Yeah, it's going to be 5th Dragon, but no Malphite ult, you can't do anything. Just a really rough spot for ATN, and they're going to have to see what they can do here.
Yep, we do see Russian guy and Midnight Drop coming up towards this bottom lane. Pretty big wave. Midnight Drop is going to secure the red buff. They're going to head to that bottom lane. Wave is stacking in ATN's favor, but it's not going to last once they get there. They're going to be looking for that bottom lane inhibitor. With the Baron out of contention, this is the right lane to push, so that when Dragon does become an objective, they can immediately go for it, try and secure that 5th Dragon, try and secure the end of the game. But we do see ATN going for the counter push. They're all mid right now. Hentel is the one left to defend against them, while Tuba is left on the other side. I think Hentel is going to be doing a little bit of a better job wave clearing than Tuba will, but I guess we'll see. Here comes Iden, throws Flare-Ons right into the fight. Here comes the Lifeform Disintegration Ray. It deals a ton of damage onto Iden, but Iden just barely survives. Here comes Color Wheel, uses his ultimate to just jump right onto Iden, finishes him off. They're going after Kawona now, throws out the Bola, but no CC can go through the Ragnarok. Double kill for Color Wheel. The rest of PMM is pushing to the bottom lane. They're going to get that bottom lane turret. They're going to get the bottom lane inhibitor, as Lulu and Kawona are on the run.
Yeah, and you know, they're
looking for Gelati. And Color Wheel trying to throw him. Here comes down the hunt. Kawona is going to be the second one to die. Color Wheel going huge, assassinating all of these targets when they're standing all off by themselves. A huge lead as they tank up this middle lane tower to take another inhibitor. Maybe all 3. Maybe the game. We'll see what happens. Can ATN hold?
Yeah, PMM has that Baron buff. They're pushing bot lane. ATN tries this crazy base race
Death
scenario.
Sentence onto Iden, then followed up by the knockup, and Midnight Drop is on a rampage. This is gonna be the last tower as the Zeke's Harbinger gives Midnight Drop some extra crits. This is PMM waiting for the minions, waiting to push up into the middle lane to those Nexus turrets. This might be the end of the game. Another Death Sentence and another knockup. That combo of the Death Sentence followed up immediately by the knockup from Vel'Koz is just devastating. But here we are. It looks like PMM is going to win the game. We're going to see the final fight here. Kawona goes in, activates the Ragnarok. Isn't going to be enough. Glacial Fissure comes out, hits all of PMM, but no follow-up damage means nothing's going to come of it. Kabloomy and Hentel are going to take this last Nexus turret. Color Wheel's going to jump in and flash immediately out as a troll. Here comes the explosive cast. Tuba gets the ult onto 3, but the Nexus is going down. Iden is going to fall. And that is going to be the end of the game. PMM moving on to the losers bracket semifinals as ATN goes down for now. Interesting game. Rainguard goes off. That's going to be a win for PMM.
We once again see PMM kind of taking a pick comp making these crazy team fights happen, and they just roll over them. Coloria had a little bit of a slow start today, but really able to bring that Rengar pick back, even though he doesn't have teleport. ATN again pushing these awkward team fights, and PMM just with Rengar and Hentel both kind of untouched, able to pick up so many kills throughout these fights. Really well played from them.
Yes, definitely really well played. It's going to be PMM moving on up to the semifinals of the losers bracket. We're going to be switching over up to the winners bracket. We'll be playing the semifinals of WPV versus EPG. But first, let's talk a little bit more about this game we just witnessed. They had that pick comp. They executed it pretty well. But honestly, I just think ATN was making some poor strategic decisions this game.
Yeah, I mean, as far as choices on when they're engaging, what fights they're taking, ATN, I think they really messed up in a lot of different spots. They showed in one team fight how well it can go if they get this Malphite out to hit multiple people, and were able to get a lot of different skills, overlapped on that. Just how many 5v5s did we see that game? One maybe. Just they fought when they were down men. They tried to hold towers they couldn't hold when they were down men. They fought without ultimates. Just you can't do that when you're playing a team fight comp against a team that is ahead and is running a pickup where they're rushing guys, hitting all these hooks. I think honestly, Gragas, he was probably the MVP of the game. He was getting so many well-placed ultimates that was really disrupting these fights. It's just nothing you can do when you're not there as a team, not synergizing with everyone else, and not having everything up. You just can't do it.
Definitely. So that was a pretty crazy game. Everybody on PMM's side getting fed. Going to be Sivir participating in almost all the kills. All of them almost participating in all the kills. They really worked as a team that game. It's nice to see them coming back from that loss yesterday, still playing huge. That's going to be their second win of the day. We're going to see them yet again for the last game of today in the losers bracket semifinals. But we are going to move on to the WPV versus EPG game. This is the winners bracket semifinals. And we are going to see you in 15 minutes as we are going to take a short break. We will see you then.